Alright, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is King Ruthless, and I'm bringing you another StarCraft 2 commentary. This is going to be a Zerg versus Terran on the map Shattered Temple. As we have spawning here in the 7 o'clock location is our red Zerg. He is iJelly, and I believe this is played on the European server. And spawning close air positions at the 9 o'clock location is Pleyesu. Pleyesu. I'm gonna call him Pleyesu. I don't even know. Pleyesu. Whatever. We Pleyesu as the blue Terran. And this is a CVT spawn in close positions, so like what generally happens on smaller maps like these, even in Zerg versus Terran you can expect drop plays or Banshee, some sort of airplay. Oh, very smart move by the Terran. He actually moves his SCV over to this corner just to make sure if that Overlord is spotted over in this direction, that means that his Zerg opponent has spawned close air positions. And, I mean, he's already been scouted by the SCV, so this Overlord really just needs to move down here and see what Terran is up to. He can see if he's going for 2 racks or not. He can keep his drones on gas, or possibly just send a drone over here to harass this SCV. But anyways, he is going to fall back a bit. This SCV is looking around for something. Not really sure what it is. The other Overlord is going out to some undetermined location, possibly in the middle of the map. That would not be a good location. Better yet, at the edge of this ramp. That's not a bad place. Let's take up the production tab. We do have a spawning pool on the way for iJelly, so it looks like a pull first before expand. A gas and pull. And really against Terran, I mean, even against 2 racks, even if they 2 racks you need to go 15 hatch. Going for this speed league expand against Terran, it's only worth it, I guess, if they build an engineering bay or a supply depot or something down here, so you can't expand. This is, you need a 15 hatch. Looks like Terran will be doing some sort of wonky looking 2 racks, but I mean, if you just brought a drone in here and you could scout and you see no gas, you know it's got to be 2 racks. Either 2 racks or 1 racks expand. Anyways, it looks like gas, then pull. Oh goodness, a little bit of lag there. So 2 racks is going to get shut down by this. Terran would be wise to just not even try to pressure the Zerg at this point. Zerg has plenty of forces on the way. Terran is going to go down here, see no expansion, and should pretty much just run home. Probably wants to lift off this racks and maybe... Okay, looks like he's going to wall off. He's going to need another barracks. He's going to have 1, 2... Yeah, I think 3 barracks can wall this off. Maybe... Oh, maybe he'll need a supply depot or a bunker. But we'll see. Terran, meanwhile, is almost supply locked. He needs to throw down another depot. He has a couple of idle SCVs. I'm not sure what they're doing. I'm actually very busy. But, let me go ahead and do this. There we go. Oh, what the heck? Okay, anyways. I can't type for crap. So anyways, 2 supply depots going down for Terran, who supply locked himself and is getting a gas. At the 3 barracks expand, this is a 4 racks. This Marine is trapped out here, will get taken out by these Zerglings, but no, they run back. They actually ran in there and done a lot of damage. The Lings, for some reason, deciding to head back. 6 Lings against 3 or 4 Marines, they will win. Even if these guys are microed correctly, you will win. You will pick off some Marines, might be able to come in here and harass some mineral line. Well, let's see what Zerg is up to. Throwing down a creep tumor and moving the queen to the expansion, which is about to go down. Speed has finished. iJelly would be really nice to go ahead and take this watchtower. And since he knows that Terran is expanding, you can either go for a 2-base Baneling bust at this point. So there's a Baneling nest, so maybe there's a Baneling bust incoming. That would actually be really great. I think you only need maybe 8 Zerglings to take down a barracks. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. I think it's only 8. Because of these locations, Terran's going to be really hard for Terran to put on tech labs without them being, you know, prone to getting sniped by Banelings or Zerglings. So aggression would really work in this position right here, and would more or less kill the Terran. But Zerg is just going to macro it up. This drone not doing much of anything. Looks like he wants to throw down a spine crawler. I mean, he has a lot of minerals to do it. Not sure what else he's doing. Okay, so the Baneling nest is on the way. And will he go for a round of Zerglings or a round of drones? Or is he supply log? Okay, so down goes the spine crawler. Not really sure what iJelly was doing with his APM. Maybe his computer lagged or something. But making just basically making drones, and I mean, the reason I say like aggression would work. Think about if you could snipe this tech lab that's making stim. If you could delay stim indefinitely, you can just kill Terran. Terran can't push out of this base. He'll have to rely on siege tanks, which if you go for an expand after 4 barracks, you can't really afford that. As you can see, I mean, he can afford like 1 factory, and then he would have to choose between early tanks or early siege. So down goes the factory for Terran. Looks like it will be a tank marine composition. It's very popular, and I mean, I don't know what the point of breaking down those rocks was if he's not going to go for a fast third. We'll see what Terran does. He's going to throw down a second factory, so definitely marine tank, and the stim is going to be allowed to finish. I mean, baneling aggression right here would end this, and Terran would be in so much trouble. And not even doing that great with his marine production, but maybe he's saving up for some tanks. We will see. Meanwhile, Zerg is taking a fourth. Could be sending these links to take out the gold or these rocks back here. I mean, really, he's made plenty of drones for the time being. He can continue to drone up, but I don't know. He can honestly, he's taking a third way over here. It's kind of dangerous to do this, is what I'm saying. And drop play. You can harass the mineral line back here, harass the drones. It's just really hard to defend until you get mutas out. And even when you get mutas out, you have to, keep a watchful eye on that minimap. Make sure overlords are positioned in nice places. Since he's expanding over here, it'd be really nice for him to send one of these overlords possibly over to this little chasm right here, and see if any dropships try to sneak their way out past here. It'd be nice if you could have, you could even do this with like sending 1 Zergling right here. If you see anything pass by, you can just go ahead and snipe it off. But it looks like he will just keep his overlords all bunched up. Baneling aggression with into Spire. I'm not sure why you would make 40 Zerglings at this point. Let's look at the income tab. It is 41 to 34 harvesters. So actually, he can make a lot more drones at this point. Terran's not being aggressive, but Terran will scout this expansion, and the Queen should be able to take this out. Even if they stem up, I think a Queen can pick off 2 Marines. And so, really just weakening the Queen, and now Terran knows exactly where his Zerg's base is, so it's really prone to drop. So it would be nice to put maybe a Spine Crawler here, or a Spine and a Spore to protect this base. Maybe start some creep spread as well. Bring out another Queen. Man, I'm lagging so bad for some reason. I'm not even sure why that is. I'm not uploading any videos or anything. But yeah, it needs to keep on working on the worker production. He's stuck at 43. Spire has completed. And will he make any mutas? He can certainly afford 8 mutas and then get the +1 attack. But he's going for, there we go, +1 attack. Need to see some mutas popping. The faster you can get those mutas out, the better. Because honestly, this base isn't very well defended. He's just now throwing down 3 turrets. But what's really cool about mutas is they can fly back here, and then bam, you can pick off the SCVs from this vantage point. Starport is going down with a reactor, so you can expect medevacs. Vikings are really crappy in Terran versus Zerg, unfortunately. +1 weapons going for +1 tank weapons going for Pleyesu for the Terran, and this is, I mean, in this spot Terran can expand. I mean, Zerg hasn't really done much, and he should know that Zerg is on 3 base. He should go ahead and take his 3rd base. There he goes, taking down his 3rd base at this expansion. Would be nice to go ahead and put up some turrets here as well, so mutas just can't come in here and snipe it. But let's see what Zerg is doing. Zerg has just taken down these rocks at the expansion, and looks like he wants to go ahead and expand. That is a great move if he decides to do that. There we go. And this is the problem. He's very indecisive, iJelly, about how to spend his minerals. I mean, he has these lings that are just hanging out here, and they're not doing anything. They're not breaking down these rocks. They're not scouting around the map. They're not being active. They're just sitting in his base. And meanwhile, this tank marine force is building up. Looks like +1 infantry armor on the way, as well as 2 Thors. So the Terran will be safe from any sort of mutalist harass. You can put a Thor probably with this army, and then maybe a Thor in the mineral line, and Zerg really can't do anything. But I mean, these supply depots are pretty. It's not a good idea to keep these supply depots out here. You should just probably invest in a sensor tower, right? And then you can see if mutalists are coming. You'd be safe. So this 3rd base will be an orbital command as well. will not be a planetary fortress, and no turrets going up, so this is ripe for the picking. Just as I say that, 3 turrets are going down for Terran. And Zerg is still just sitting in his base with a... I mean, that is so many Mutalisks. You should go and harass with these guys. You need to go harass, and you can build up this force. And the more and more you pick apart Terran, and you force them to have to rebuild supply depots, etc., you know, you can build up this force, and you can just cripple Terran so easily. But I don't know what number iJelly is waiting for. He's just sitting in his base, not doing much of anything. He's getting another gas, 2 gas geysers here, getting some drones on these rich minerals, and, you know, taking his 5th. Terran is just going to turtle, then go ahead and take your 5th. Why not? But these Mutalisks are just going to be so powerful against any of these structures. They could really just go in and start killing off all these turrets. A big stem for Terran, who doesn't have any medevacs. Where are okay, 2 medevacs, and he stemmed all those Marines. So look how low on health they are. Oh, this is terrible. Don't engage Marines. Don't engage Marines with your Mutalisks. What are you doing? No. He needs to run away with those Mutalisks and try to find another avenue of attack. If he can start picking away maybe these reactors, these add-ons, it's going to be really hard for Terran to get them back. Looks like Terran is a bit supply locked from that harass. So look at the supplies here. The Zerg is nearing max. I mean, after he gets these overlords, he can make a round of Mutas, and he will be maxed. And it looks like he'll be on +2, +2, +2 for all around. But you know, once again, I'd like to see him get 2 geysers here and take, you know, take a 5th. Take a 5th and a 6th. He can afford it. That's a lot of minerals there that are just going to waste, not doing much. But this creep spread, I want to say, is very nice. The creep is pretty much at Terran's base. Let's see. Terran is starting to see creep spread over, you know, right next to his barracks. That's not a very comfortable feeling for Terran. When you see that, you just gotta be thinking, oh god, you know, the attack is imminent. But you know, Zerg's not really capitalizing off of this turtling Terran. He could be going in here and harassing. I'm not sure why he's trying to wall off with these depots. It's not like Zerg's gonna run through this and then run up here and take down these depots. In fact, he's just making it harder for his SCVs to get away. So taking down these rocks and harassing the crap out of this expansion, harassing everywhere with the mutas. You have to be very mobile and very active with them for them to be any good. You can get, oh goodness, how many mutas is that? That is 33 Mutalisks. He needs to attack now. He really needs to attack. He could be morphing in all these Zerglings into Banelings, or as many as he can afford, getting an infestation pit, a hive, etc. He's going to fly in here and sees the 2 Thors. He could have taken those 2 Thors. You magic box. You just run straight over the Thors, and you press hold position, and they attack the Thors, and the Thors can't do anything, but he's kind of bunching them up, so if Terran gets a nice volley off, iJelly will be in trouble, but he's just going to back away. He's being very... I don't know, he's just not being very active. He should be taking more expansions, he should be macroing, he should be teching. But it looks like he's just gone for this, you know, +2 attack Mutalisks, and then 2/2 Zerglings, finally an infestation pit. And there's nothing here. No, attack the base. Worry about the rocks later. Worry about the rocks later. You're giving Terran time to get in position. But okay, it does look like Terran is pushing out here. These Mutalisks need to come in here and just harass his base, force Terran to retreat. And, oh goodness, that's a lot of Banelings. Tons of Banelings. 68 Banelings on the way. That's plenty to take out this push. Zerg can just 1A at this point. Literally, just run in here before these tank siege. He can see that they're not siege, but now he does. And now he's forced to fall back. It looks like he forgot centrifugal hooks. That's embarrassing. Oh, so now he's starting. It would have been nice if he had centrifugal hooks. These mutas in the meanwhile are doing nothing. They should be harassing. They should be forcing Terran to, you know, do something besides focus on this army up here. He's got plenty of time to just micro them around. I don't know what he's doing with these Thors, moving them around like this. Okay, he needs to back away from those Thors, and he really needs to get out maybe some infestors, maybe get a hive. You know, definitely move these drones. They're not doing much of anything, just sitting there. He needs to take more bases. Look, I mean, this is right for the picking. This is right for the picking. He could take all these bases, and Terran couldn't do anything. But a nice little push in here. Oh, you can definitely go and pick off these add-ons. This is great. He needed to do this about 5 minutes ago. But he's going to clump up these mutas, and they're going to take a ton of damage from these Thors. Not magic boxing at all. And he needs to back away. His mutas are suffering terrible damage, terrible damage from those Thors. You have to magic box against Thors. Meanwhile, Terran's gonna max, and he's gonna have a ton of Thors, and it's gonna be really hard for Zerg to do anything. And Terran's just camping out right here, and you know, you can just circumvent this army and kill it, right? But it looks like Terran is going to move out again. Zerg should see this, and Zerg should engage right now, because these tanks to run siege kill everything. Literally kill everything. He's going to run in all these Banelings without Zergling support. They're just going to get focus fired. Now the rest of the army is coming in, and he's not going to have time to siege his tanks. And he's going to take down as well. You don't need to use your Banelings on the Thors, but I guess when you get at that high of a number, you can afford to do it. Now he can just afford to pick off all these dropships, remaking 90 Zerglings, and take more bases, man. Take more bases. Take more bases. Zerglings are going to be able to just waltz in here. You need a magic box with those mutas. Don't clump them up. Okay, finally magic boxing, and look how much damage they do to these Thors. But you need more than that. He should have waited for these Zergling reinforcements, or at least brought them in. Now Terran has 5 Thors out on the map. If he don't push out, Terran, that's stupid. Don't push out. Terran, what are you doing? But Zerg is engaging in a choke here. Not going to pick off that other Thor. Terran would be wise to send out some auto-repairing SCVs. And Zerg is just not getting, you know, he's just stuck on Mutiling Bling, and he's not doing much else. Look at the income tab, 60 to 50. He can make more drones, he could take more expansions. And that's going to pretty much be the thing I'll say over and over again. He's also not harassing this. He could harass this easily with some Zerglings. There's nothing here to defend it. If Terran just wants to sit up here and camp, then you just, you know, attack in here, make an Nidus Worm, bring your units in here and take, you know, pick away at these structures. Force Terran to reposition his army. This army is very weak when it has to move around, because it's a very mobile army due to the tanks and Thors. It's very Thor heavy, and when you get this many Thors, just get Infestors and Neuroparasite them, and you turn the army against itself, and GG. But I mean, he's just lining Terran macro right back up. It's scary. And 36 more Zerglings are on the way. But you see, it's really hurting him that he doesn't have enough drones, that he doesn't have enough expansions. As you can see, his minerals are just getting lower than his gas, and maybe it's because he's making so many Zerglings, but you gotta take more bases. You really need to take more bases. Terran, not sure what Terran's doing out here, because Zerg could just run by and attack his base. Making Hellions. Without Blue Flame, they're not going to do much. Does he have Blue Flame for them? Maybe. Not sure. Yeah, he does have Blue Flame for these Hellions. So, but at this point, the Hellions aren't really that useful, unless you're going to harass. Zerg's almost mined out all his expansions. He needs to take more bases. He needs to do something. But then again, Terran's giving him forever to remax his army. Zerg, look at all these Lings. Look, they're just hanging out, man. Send him in here, attack this base, do something. And, yep. So Zerg is not doing much of anything, just hanging out. Hanging out, macroing. Not much going on. Terran throws down a, what do you call it? The thing that can see a lot. Oh, well, anyways, I think it's called, yeah, a sensor tower. Something he could have done a while back instead of throwing up all those depots around the edges. He could Nidus Rush, he could drop with roaches. He could do a lot of stuff. He's just allowing Terran to re-macro. So finally the movies are going to head out. They've decided that they have had plenty of time to heal all the way back up to full health. That's, I mean, you have so many Mutalisks. Why are you worried about 2 of these? Okay, so he does see these forces coming out. Don't engage with just Mutalisks. You don't want to do that. You need to have your forces together. So bring these Zerglings up. Bring these Zerglings up. Looks like he's trying to morph in Banelings, but this is really late. He's going to be hard pressed, and Terran's going to be able to shell away at this expansion. It's going to take out the high yield, and it's allowed him to siege up. I mean, he could have attacked a long time ago, but I mean, he wasn't doing anything. So this base goes down in no time. Terran is now on 3 base, and so is Zerg. So Zerg is in a lot of trouble, and not much he can do here. He's got a really nice position. It's really hard for Zerg to engage. Losing a couple of Overlords as well, but he's made plenty of those. Not sure what Zerg is waiting on. I mean, let me go look at his cam. I mean, what is he looking at? Okay, he's just looking here. What? Being very indecisive. Okay, so Zerg is being very indecisive, not knowing when to push out. But this was a great time to push out because Terran is out of position. Don't waste the banelings on the tanks. Don't waste the banelings on the tanks. Don't waste the banelings on the tanks. No, there's so many. There are so many Marines left. The Marines are what kill everything that Zerg has. Oh, so this base is going to go down. Zerg's just going to have his reserve. He didn't take any expansions. Ah, man, you could have played this so much better. You could have had this game. Pleyesu just sat in his base the entire time. So, if anything that we can learn here, you got to be more active with your lings. You need to go and counterattack. You need to go and harass these expansions. You took down the rocks, and then you just sat there with your lings. You could have been harassing this base. You could have counterattacked. You could have Nidus. You could have taken more bases. There's a lot of things that iJelly really could have improved on. You could have diversified your tech. They're down to Roachborn and a Hydralisk den is. Roachborn, in case he goes heavy mech, then you have a ton of roaches you can make. Start on those upgrades. I mean, he didn't engage at the right times. I mean, whenever Terran unsieges their tanks, attack. And use your banelings against the Marines, not against the tanks. Send in your links to surround the tanks, send your banelings to attack the Marines, and with the Mutalisk, just magic box over the Thors, and you will win a fair amount of engagements. So anyways, that will do it all for this cast. I hope you guys enjoy it. I have been your host, King Ruthless, as usual, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.